satellite outside my house. I'll go look that up, see what's passing overhead, but that is that's a man-made satellite. There's no collision lights on it. It's not an aircraft. I saw it coming out of the southwest. It is in space, so I'm not sure what it is. Those are moths flying by. Yeah, I'll have to go look up. I'll have to go look up and see what that is. It's bright, so that could be the ISS. It might be the ISS, but let me. I will go see what it is. So you can see the brightness is the same no matter what no matter where the object is, and as it should be hitting the Earth's shadow here pretty soon. It tells me it's pretty high up. I mean, sunset's been for about an hour and a half, so it's still getting sunlight. So it's still high enough above the Earth to be reflecting sunlight. Now, being in space, what's going to happen is, as it passes into the shadow, it's going to become like orange, and it'll go from orange into red, into a brown, and then disappear into the blackness shadow. So it's something that large, something that bright. It's probably the International Space Station. I don't know. That looks kind of like an orbit that the ISS would take. It has a very heavily inclined orbit. So, and as you see, it's starting to dim, and see it's starting to pass into shadow as it dims. It's high up, and if you notice, the brightness is not changing whether we see the object from the side or from the rear. It's in space, and as you see, it's starting to dim. It's starting to dim. It's getting yellowy. Should start to go sort of like a reddish brown, and then as it passes into the Earth's shadow, it will disappear. Yeah, I'm not sure what transit, what object that was, but I can go look it up. I can look up on the internet satellite transits, and you can still see the object. Still see it. Still see it. Do you see the intensity? It's still intense, even though we're looking at it from the rear now. It's moved off into the northeast. It's at the limit of my visual eyesight. I'm old. What can I say? What can I say? Yeah, it's at the limit of I think it's gone. Yeah, it's gone, disappeared. And there's an F-16. Here's a difference. The F-16 has collision lights on it. You can see the collision lights. Ah, shooting star, missed it. Dang. But there goes sounds like an F-16. You know, I love living out here in the desert. It is just, God dang it, it's beautiful out here. I will never go back to city. I don't know if the Milky Way can be seen on this camera, but the Milky Way is right above me. I don't know if it's visible, but let's see. There's Sagittarius. Hold on, let me take a look at this. Let me get my night vision. Or maybe that's Antares. That could be a planet. Heck, that might be Mars. That bright reddish brown object right there might be Mars. And the way you know a planet from a planet doesn't twinkle. Stars twinkle because their light is being attenuated and changed by the atmosphere. It's very weak signal coming through all that atmosphere. But planets are relatively much closer, and their light source is more intense, and it doesn't get bounced around by the atmosphere as the light reaches the surface of the earth are our eyes. Beautiful night. Beautiful night. Just, this is why I live in the desert. There's no friggin' way I'd live back in the city. I'll die out in the desert. Screw cities. All right, I'm gone. Bye.